was a privilege to follow my friend and mentor, Rhodri Morgan. It's been a huge privilege to serve Wales in this job and to be at the helm at a time of great challenge, a crucial time in our nation's history. As I prepare to hand over the reins, the feelings are, I suppose, bittersweet. An experience shared, I'm sure, by everyone leaving a role that has been central to their lives. Sadness, of course, in standing down, combined with pride in the work that has been achieved. The post that I took on in 2009 has changed considerably since I took it on, and so has the world around us. People were more likely to write a letter than a tweet. Selfies were more a thing for Paris Hilton than politicians, and arguably that should still be the case. Perhaps more importantly, the National Assembly and the Welsh Government are very different organisations too, with more powers, more levers and higher expectations of delivery. Someone had said to me in 1999 that I would leave the job of First Minister, well that would have surprised me, but leave the job of First Minister in a tax-varying lawmaking parliament. I would have been very surprised and delighted. We had those tools. We have achieved a great deal even in these toughest of times. Devolution is established, not just in law, not just in fact, but now in the hearts of the people of Wales. All doubts removed. But if I've achieved anything in this time, it's been with the help of many, many others. I've learned that you achieve very little in life on your own. Our Parliament may be more powerful, but it's still young, and it is, at least to my mind, too small. And that means there is huge pressure on everyone in this chamber to make government better. The crucial democratic duty of proper scrutiny, which is a task you've all taken to with the utmost seriousness, sometimes taken too seriously for my liking, but nevertheless that is what I am here to do. But I pay tribute to everyone in the chamber for what you do to challenge us to do better. I'd like, if I may, to just mention some people. First of all, my family, Lisa, my wife, and who's here today, and I've been married to her for 24 years. Carwyn, my father, who's also here today, was here 9 years ago. My mother was alive at that point, but died 6 days after I became First Minister, and she is somebody, of course, who's very much in my thoughts today. And my two children, Seren and Ruri, who have had to live with a father who was always in government and the embarrassment that brings. So my thanks to them as well. Diolch yn fawr plant, a diolch yn fawr Lisa.
Thank you to the children and to Lisa and Dad.
The permanent secretaries that have served in my time, 2 Morgans and a Jones, and the civil service, because politicians, of course, come up with policies and ideas, and sometimes it's, of course, for civil servants to put those into practice. It's not always the easiest thing in the world, and I thank them for the work that they have done. I thank the Labour Group and the Welsh Labour Party for the support they've given me over the past 9 years. And I look forward, of course, to making sure that support is available to my successor as well, and that it goes without saying, of course. To you, Llywydd, of course, it's not always easy to control this chamber. Sometimes tempers are a little frayed. I think Adam and I are probably guilty of that. So we saw it last night with the documentary. So Amman Valley, well, it's the upper Amman Valley. We can discuss which end of the Amman Valley is best. And of course, all Assembly members, because, as I said, scrutiny is a hugely important part of government. If there's no scrutiny, then government becomes sloppy. Government becomes ineffective, and that's why the scrutiny of all in this chamber is important, to hone government and to make sure that government understands what needs to be done in order to make legislation or a policy effective. Well, it's been a challenging time, the double whammy of reduced budgets and the impact of benefit cuts on Wales, and then, of course, the small matter of Brexit. And whilst it would have been irresponsible for any leader to have ignored these issues, I've always talked to my cabinet about the importance of delivery, regardless of these dominant issues. And what are they? Well, they remain the same. People want good schools, a good job and a good NHS free at the point of use. They want a better tomorrow for their children and their grandchildren. And so there are 118 brand new schools in Wales and a further 41 under construction. And the children in those schools are getting more and more top grades. And in the future, they're going to learn more and more, not just traditional subjects, but how to be good citizens. Our education system is not fractured by destructive competition. Our schools, our teachers are working together in the interests of the whole country. And there are tens of thousands more people in work today, including, of course, in Port Talbot, Trostre, Llanwern and Shotton. Tens of thousands of young people are pursuing life-changing apprenticeships. We have record inward investment. 18,000 young people have been given opportunities through our Jobs Growth Wales programme. 20,000 fewer young people not in education or training. More people are surviving cancer than ever before. Delayed transfers of care at a record low. We've improved survival rates because of our new ambulance response model. And these are more than sound bites. They are fundamental truths about how life is changing for people in Wales. Because what does a new school mean? It's not just a political promise kept, it's a child's future improved. Whether it's in Rhyl, Aberdare or Cardiff East, 11-year-olds are walking into bright new schools with 3G pitches outside, with the latest technology at their fingertips inside. An extra investment in our NHS doesn't mean more doctors and nurses on its own. It also means that 700 people have been able to access HIV prevention medication in our country. Not one of the people who have accessed PrEP in Wales have gone on to contract HIV. And one of the remarkable changes since I was a teenager in university has been the conquest of AIDS. The shadow of it was frightening back in the 80s. Nobody ever thought at that point there would ever be a way not just to remove AIDS, but to control it. And over the years, we've seen a huge change in that. And that, for me, has been an incredible testimony to the medical research that has been carried out. We've set examples for the world to follow. We introduced deemed consent for organ donation. We abolished child burial fees. We're world leaders in recycling. We've legislated to protect tenants and prevent homelessness, ended the right to buy in Wales. We've reformed the social care system in Wales. We've redefined the language. The language at one time, many of us will remember, was a political football. It isn't anymore. Now we have a language that everybody knows is a source of national pride, whether they speak Welsh or not. And we've committed, of course, to make Wales the safest place in Europe for women. We're not there yet. There's some way to go. But that is the aim of not just the government now, but the government in the future. When we were provoked as a nation, we held firm. There was attacks on our NHS in Wales, a line between life and death. We responded with dignity. We backed our hard-working doctors and nurses, not just with extra money, but with something of even greater value, and that's respect. Making policy for Wales, not for London's media. Our growing confidence and self-belief as a government, as a country, has come even in the face of a decade of austerity. But of course, none of these policies and achievements exist in isolation from each other. They all, to my mind, add up to something that I always want for Wales, and they are fairness and hope. Because they have been my watchwords in government, just as they were my parents' watchwords at home. And those are the words, I believe, that are very close to the heart of the person I'll be voting for as the next First Minister of Wales. It is Mark, to make that clear. It has been a great pleasure to work alongside you, Mark, and all my Cabinet colleagues, past and present, who've given me such fantastic support for so many years. Mark is someone who can effortlessly match both principles and pragmatism, and I've no doubt that he will make a superb First Minister of Wales. Now, I've been told that Geraint Thomas has done the ultimate Welsh mic drop after winning the Tour de France, so I won't attempt to finish it in quite the same way. Not, I suppose that I can anyway. Instead, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone here, but most importantly to the people of Wales I've had the honour to serve. Every school or hospital, every business I've seen on the Eisteddfod Maes or the Royal Welsh Showground, out shopping with a family or the rugby, wherever it may be, I've been met with kindness and with courtesy, and I cannot thank you enough. Mae wedi bod yn anrhyder.
It has been an honour.
Diolch yn fawr. Thank you.